All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and subscribers from all over the world. This is The Truth with Ben Jokes, your number one political talk show. Nigerian army personnel dismissed for armed robbery, handed over to police. That is fantastic. Now, this is for soldiers who shoot at innocent protesters. Yes, a soldier caught in the act of armed robbery should be dismissed and jailed. But if that soldier says, "Look, I have repented, I am an armed robber, but I am repenting now," will he be given the same treatment as a repentant Boko Haram? We know he won't. So Boko Haram members are more privileged than soldiers in the Nigerian army. Think about it when next you are asked to attack protesters who want a better Nigeria. We live in a country where impunity reigns supreme. And it is such a shame. And few hours ago, a story began circulating from South Nigeria. And some of these occurrences are beginning to affirm my predictions and the predictions of many experts about the defecting governors. We have said that governors from predominantly PDP states who are announcing or declaring their support for Tinubu will not find it easy to maintain their popularity in those states. Events are beginning to prove us right. We have heard reports about Ifeanyi Okowa and Governor Sheriff of Delta State struggling to get some key supporters to accept their decisions to join the APC. But the latest event is coming from Akwa Ibom State. After openly declaring support for Tinubu's 2027 bid few weeks ago, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umoeno, has seen his cabinet falling apart to the point that he himself made a video explaining the neglect he is facing from his commissioners. Imagine a whole state governor coming on air to complain about how he is being maltreated by his commissioners. And Nigerians told him to expect worse treatment from the people of Akwa Ibom State when he eventually defects to the APC. And concurrently, a devastating update came out of the Nigerian customs. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video.
By saying that the statistics being given about the percentage scored by Labour Party in the 2023 general election is erroneous.
It's what?
Erroneous. It's not correct.
Yeah, but the election was challenged. Wait to
let me land, Dr. Abati.
Okay.
We have a situation where figures are allotted to various political parties. The tsunami that greeted the presidential election in Delta State was unprecedented for Labour Party. And some of us, including my very self, were offered humongous sums of money, such that I've never seen in my life, to support the ruling party, PDP. We rejected it on principle. And during the collation, our people were thoroughly brutalized. So we have figures to show that in Delta State, Labour Party won the election at the governorship level and the presidential level. It was also attested by the former deputy, chairman of APC South during his interview or discussion with Dr. Pato Tommy recently on a radio station. So yeah, we know you won the election, but we give you whatever we felt like. So this idea of allotting figures to political parties, we accepted it because we were not ready for it. We did not expect the kind of shenanigan that went on during the election. We're better prepared now.
Yeah, but I wanted you to talk about the defection.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, it's we have harlots of Jericho in Delta State. Harlots of Jericho. People who will use their positions to invite foreigners to invade them and occupy the territory. But we know better. They are protecting their loot. Delta State, over the past how many years of democracy, has been bedeviled by inept leadership. We all know it, and we've been crying out. Unfortunately, we have a situation where there's hunger in the land. It has been weaponized. But we are trying as much as possible to let the people know that despite these defections, their lot will not be better if they keep following those characters that I call harlots of Jericho. It's not going to affect anything. One, I do agree with Ezago for once, that there'll be serious implosion. Look at the characters that have defected for personal interest. All of them without exception. If you talk about Delta North, it's going to be worse because those defecting are all gunning for the same positions. I wonder how it's going to pan out. So let them go. We're waiting for them. It's not going to affect anything. The fortunes of labor will be better enhanced by their defection.
You heard that. Sometimes when I think about the clear denial of what was a landslide victory for Peter Obi in the 2023 presidential election, it still hurts. Nigeria, as of now, would have been well positioned on the path of development. But right now, we are just going back and forth with one propaganda after the other. And just as the interviewee implied, I have never really bothered myself with the defections. My major worry has been with the inability of the opposition to organize themselves. Nigerians are fed up with the APC, but they have also given up on the electoral process. But if the opposition shows itself strong and united enough, and they begin to mount the campaign of electronic transfer of results, push the bill to the National Assembly, we know that the National Assembly will try to push it aside, but that will be a valid ground for protest. Give us a transparent electoral process. We will come out and protest. That is one protest that I will not only be on the field, I will personally put out my own resources into such a protest, and I am sure that many Nigerians worldwide will do the same. But when you say something like end hunger protest, yes, that is also valid, but there is no legislation that can end hunger. You can't sign a bill into law to end hunger, but a protest to mandate the electronic transfer of result from the polling units to the IREV is one that will sanitize the electoral process. And I'm telling you, many Nigerians will be all out for this kind of protest. This is what I expect the opposition to be doing. And when they mount campaigns like this, that is when you see all these disgruntled PDP members will now see a place to run into to mount a challenge against the APC. This is what I expect of the opposition. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that terrible update coming out of the Nigerian customs. And next is that disgraceful video where Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umar Eno, came crying that his commissioners are maltreating him 2 weeks after declaring support for Tinubu and contemplating joining APC. Governor Umar Eno's cabinet has fallen apart and he's now crying to the general public. What a disgrace. Let's start by taking that update from the Nigerian customs. Now, this update is not intended to start any religious debate. I am just reporting a trending negative update in order to give a positive contribution. Look at how the papers reported it. Breaking news. Nigeria Customs intercepts explosives concealed in cartons of Quran at Seme border. You heard that. Explosives found packed with Quran at Seme border. Most probably, someone has been told to ship in explosives to kill infidels. One thing we must understand as human beings is that Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Shango worshippers, and members of all other religions in the world were created by God. Anyone who tells you to kill or contribute to the killing of a human being in the name of religion is not doing you any good, and he is certainly not representing God. Religion is the most potent tool with which powerful men have divided the world in order to rule it. Nigerians, we must put sentiments of religion and tribe aside and unite to save the only country that we've got. Anybody who tells you to go and kill anybody in the name of religion, that there is a reward waiting for you, that is a big lie. We were all created by God, and when the time is ripe, we will stand before him in judgment. And next is that video from Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State Governor crying out that his commissioners are failing him, and Nigerians have linked this with his intention to join the APC, and they are saying that when he eventually decamps, he will face a more abysmal fate. See the video.
Starting today, I like everyone to hear, because when they hear that I've fired the commissioner in your local government, is insubordination. It is wrong for the governor to go on an appointment if nobody else follows him. My commissioners, special advisors are members of my first 11, and I do not announce where I will go. It is mandatory for my commissioners to ensure that they take me either back to the office or to the lodge, and if I stop by anywhere, there can be issues that will be raised. So the commissioner in charge of that will attend to me. A situation where we go to a place, I leave the place, commissioners take off to what I don't know. This is a full-time job, 24/7. And so if any commissioner is busy doing their thing, they are not yet ready to be commissioners. I was commissioner myself. I had never left my governor behind. Today is the last day I make this statement, and I'm doing it publicly. Anytime I leave an event, I stop by anywhere, let the commissioner pray that I don't look for that commissioner. If I look for that commissioner, the commissioner is not there, the commissioner will lose his or her job right there and then. This has to stop. We are running a government, and the fact that I'm simple doesn't mean that I'm an appointed governor. I'm an elected governor with overwhelming votes of the Akwa Ibom people. And if we are not ready to work for the people, then we should stay at home. That's a clear warning.
You saw that. It was only a few weeks ago that I discovered that this Akwa Ibom State Governor Umweno is one of the most stupid human beings in this country. How can you come out in public in this manner to complain about your commissioners? Where was he even standing? That looked like a construction site. This is a matter that should be discussed behind closed doors with your cabinet. But you are out here humiliating yourself. And he is telling us that he was not appointed, that he was a governor that the people of Akwa Ibom State unanimously voted for. The fact that he could say that means that he was actually handpicked by the likes of Akpabio. So the people were not even loyal to you in the first place. And now you are saying you want to jump ship. Now he is complaining that his commissioners are not loyal, but he is planning to defect from the party that made him governor to go and join the APC. Mr. Eno, you have shown your commissioners the path of disloyalty, and they are not wrong if they graciously follow it. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Edun Adewale says, they will keep abandoning His Excellency Eno because they are not ready to follow you to satanic, cancerous political party. That is it. The APC is a satanic political party, and that is where you want to decamp to, Mr. Umo Eno, by declaring your support for Tinubu, and the commissioners are showing you that they don't want to move with you. And Mbam here says, are you still leaving PDP to APC? That is a clear warning. It is a clear warning of how you are going to be treated by the people of Akwa Ibom State when you do so. And Araba here says that's how they will abandon him when he joins Akpabio in the APC. Akpabio himself began losing election from the time he decamped to the APC. That was when he had to get that professor to rig election for him. And the professor ended up being sentenced to 3 years in jail because he was tried in Akwa Ibom. And the people did not like what he did. That was why the judges refused to compromise and they sent him to jail. That is what becomes your fate when you join the APC in Akwa Ibom State, which is a core PDP state. And this tweet here says, wait till him defect first. He will cry more than this. That is it. When you finally defect, you will know what it means to lose the love of your people. And Balogun here says, Oga Mr. Governor, unfortunately, their loyalty is dead and gone. Perhaps your political permutation is known to them, and it seems it does not go down well with them. Carry your cross alone and stop exchanging banters on the media. Else, we may assume that you are no longer in charge. This one is not in charge. He was never in charge. For him to bring this kind of matter to the media, it shows me that he's not charismatic at all. And Melek here says, so commissioners have no other job to do than to follow governor to events and all sorts. They should be available for events and activities that concern their ministries, and it should be scheduled. Well, that is how it should be. But in a dysfunctional society like Nigeria, the reverse is the case. And this tweet here by Adedotun says, how else do you want to be told that you are not in charge? You were never in charge before. And now you want to decamp to the APC. So the people are showing you totally that they have broken away from you. What a shame. When you look at the quality of human beings that are occupying offices in Nigeria, you will begin to weep for this country. This is a matter that should be sorted out behind closed doors. And a governor is coming to stand at a backyard, at a construction site, to make this kind of video. So you want them to put it on TikTok to see you complaining that your commissioners have dumped you. What a shame. It is time for Nigerians all over the 36 states of this country to put on their thinking caps and begin to elect charismatic leaders that have integrity and who will represent the full interest of the people. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.